the 10-Day War or the Slovenian Independence War. Also, the Weekend War was a civil war in Yugoslavia that followed the Slovenian Declaration of Independence on 25 June 1991. It was fought between the Slovenian Territorial Defense and the Yugoslav People's Army in 1991, after Slovenia declared its independence. It lasted from 27 June 1991 until 7 July 1991, when the Brijuni Accords were signed. It marked the beginning of the Yugoslav Wars. Background: following the death of Yugoslav President Josip Broz Tito in 1980, underlying political, ethnic, religious, and economic tensions within Yugoslavia surfaced. In 1989, Slobodan Milosevic, chairman of the Central Committee of the League of Communists of Serbia since 1986, became president of Serbia, the largest and most populous of the 6 Yugoslav republics. As Milosevic moved to consolidate power by centralizing the state, the governments of the other republics sought to loosen the central grip on power by devolving as much constitutional power as possible to each of the republics and autonomous provinces. A series of disagreements among delegates persisted until 4 of the 6 republics each made the decision to secede from Yugoslavia. Supported by Germany and the Vatican, Slovenia was among those republics aiming for independence. The first action in defense of Slovenian independence, that united both the opposition and democratized communist establishment in Slovenia, was, however, carried out by the Slovene police forces, members of which later organized their own veteran organization, in an action named Action North in 1989. In April 1990, Slovenia held its first democratic multi-party elections, won by the Demos coalition. Preparations for war. On 23 December 1990, Slovenia held a referendum, which passed with 88.5% of overall electorate supporting independence, with a turnout of 93.3%. The Slovenian government was well aware that the federal government in Belgrade might seek to use military force to quash Slovenia's move towards independence. Immediately after the Slovenian elections, the Yugoslav People's Army announced a new defense doctrine that would apply across the country. The Tito-era doctrine of general people's defense, in which each republic maintained a territorial defense force, was to be replaced by a centrally directed system of defense. The republics would lose their role in defense matters, and their TOs would be disarmed and subordinated to YPA headquarters in Belgrade. The Slovenian government resisted these moves, and successfully ensured that the majority of Slovenian territorial defense equipment was kept out of the hands of the YPA. It also declared in a constitutional amendment passed on 28 September 1990 that it still would be under the sole command of the Slovenian government. At the same time, the Slovenian government set up a secret alternative command structure, known as the Maneuver Structures of National Protection. This was an existing but antiquated institution, unique to Slovenia, which was intended to enable the republic to form an ad hoc defense structure, akin to a home guard. It was of negligible importance prior to 1990, with antiquated weapons and few members. However, the Demos-led government realized that the MSNZ could be adapted to provide a parallel organization to that would be entirely in the hands of the Slovenian government. When the YPA tried to take control of the Slovenian territorial defense, the TO's command structure was simply replaced by that of the parallel MSNZ. Between May and October 1990, some 21,000 Slovenian territorial defense and police personnel were secretly mobilized into the MSNZ command structure, of which the federal government was wholly unaware. The Slovenian government also undertook detailed planning of a military campaign against the YPA, which resulted in the production of an operational and tactical plan by November 1990, over 7 months before the conflict actually began. The Slovenes were aware that they would not be able to deter the YPA forces for an extended period of time. Under Defense Minister Janez Janša, they adopted a strategy based on an asymmetric warfare approach. Two units would carry out a guerrilla campaign, using anti-tank weapons and anti-aircraft missiles to ambush YPA units. Tank columns could be trapped by destroying the lead and rear vehicles in favorable terrain, for instance, on a narrow mountain road where room for maneuver was limited, enabling the rest to be tackled more easily. In preparation for this, the Slovenian government covertly bought lightweight missile systems from foreign suppliers, notably the SAR-7 Grail anti-aircraft missile and the German-designed Armbrust anti-tank system. Hit-and-run and delaying tactics were to be preferred and frontal clashes were to be avoided, since in such situations the YPA's superior firepower would have been very difficult to overcome. On the diplomatic front, neither the European community nor the United States were willing to recognize the independence of Slovenia and strongly advocated the continuation of a unified Yugoslavia. The Slovenian government sought international assistance in negotiating a peaceful breakup of Yugoslavia, but was rebuffed by Western countries that said they preferred to deal with a single federation rather than numerous small states. However, the Slovenes contended that they had no choice in pushing for independence, given a perceived lack of commitment to democratic values on the part of the Belgrade authorities.